So Joe Rogan, I saw when I was getting off the airplane today, landing in Germany, I saw that you were standing behind a rapist, and I was just kind of curious, what was your thought process? If your mom was E. Jean Carroll and Donald Trump had raped your mom, would you still have gone there? If your daughter was 13-year-old Katie Johnson who sued Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein for raping her, would you have stood there? If your daughter or niece or somebody that you know was a victim of Epstein Island and Donald Trump refused to release the Epstein files when he himself is on there 30,000 times, would you have gone? If your dad was Officer Sitnik and he died from getting beaten on January 6th, or if your dad was one of the 4 officers that have long-term disabilities that can never work again after January 6th, or one of the 4 officers that committed suicide the following year, would you have gone there? Not a chance in hell, right, Joe? You're what's wrong with this country. You are. You're known for what? Hosting a TV show where people eat cockroaches. You are a cockroach, Joe. Is that where the idea came from? Because you are a bottom dweller, a sewer dweller. You're the epitome of what's wrong with America. A mediocre white man with a micro penis that needs to beat his chest and smell his jockstrap and scratch other people's balls. The bros. Yeah, bro. And you buy into the crap, right? You put on a sleeve shirt and you put tats on there and you have neon lights and you smoke your stogies and you talk like a dumbass because you are a dumbass. I mean, you talk normal. Yeah, bro. Can you believe Trump's doing that? Oh, please, Daddy. Can I come to the White House? Can I stand behind a rapist? And that's what every news agency should have done today. Joe Rogan went and stood behind a convicted felon and adjudicated rapist, a man that protects child molesters, because that's who you are, Joe Rogan, because you don't give a shit about people in this country. And every conversation I've had in the 3 places that I've been, England, Paris, and now Berlin, it's been the same thing. People like you are so selfish that you only give a shit about yourself. Me, me, me. 60% of your base are white men with micro penises. And another little 20% or 25% are Latino men who are misogynistic pigs and they're never going to vote for a woman. And that's what you did. You were sitting and said, well, you know what? The black woman's not going to come on my show. Screw her. I'm Joe Rogan. You're nobody. You have a shitty show. 66 million people voted for a rapist, Joe Rogan. So yeah, just because you might have had the #1 podcast doesn't mean that you're anything. You ever seen flies eating dog shit on the side of the sidewalk or walk down an alley in New York City and flies are eating garbage? Yeah, that's basically people watching your shitty podcast, Joe, because you don't stand for women. And yet here I am, just some random dude wearing a day-old Stitch t-shirt in a hotel room that gives a shit more about women than you do. I care about people in this country. The man is saying they're eating the dogs and the cats. Grab them by the PUSSY. He literally bombed an entire school and murdered 170 innocent girls. And here you are. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. Can I get likes and views? I'm an attention whore because my daddy didn't love me. My dad only breastfed me until I was 6 months old. My mom abandoned me. I have daddy issues. I need someone to love me because I'm an insecure little bitch. Because that's what you are, Joe Rogan. Your entire career is based off of people eating cockroaches. What the fuck? That's not a talent. You're a fucking clown. That's what you are. And you just proved it. And you sat right there when you know that he's putting children in concentration camps right now that are eating maggots and moldy food. Multiple people have died. Women have lost their pregnancies. Many young girls have been molested because of the man that you're standing behind, and you didn't say a goddamn thing because you got no balls. You're the reason that we're here as a country. You are exactly what's wrong with America, Joe Rogan. And people watch your shitty podcast for the same reason that they watch Jerry Springer, because it's fucking entertaining. You have no value. You have no substance. You're an empty shell of a man. Do you know why people smoke cigarettes? And I was in France and they smoke a lot. Yeah, it's going to give them lung cancer. They're going to die early, but it makes them feel good. That's why they do it. That's why people are obese, Joe, because it makes them feel good. I used to be overweight. They do it because it gives them a fix. That's why they watch your shitty podcast, Joe. You want to know why? That's why. You don't talk about anything substantive. Why do you think we haven't had a woman president in 250 years, Joe? Tell me. Tell me why you endorsed a person that was the presidential candidate after you saw January 6th, knowing he was a 34 count felon, that he owed a woman $80+ million for being an adjudicated rapist, for sexually assaulting her in a dressing room, sued by a 13-year-old, having dinner with Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist, a Nazi sympathizer. I'm in Germany right now. I know exactly what happened here. The man didn't rent to black people. He questioned the birth of Barack Obama, lied about the election, literally cheated on his third wife with a porn star while she's at home with her 2-week-old son. And you're like, yep, that's my guy. Come on, man. Scratch my balls. Smell my jockstrap. I'm Joe Rogan. I'm a dumbass, mediocre white man with a small penis. Look at me. I'm a dumbass. You're a fucking loser, Joe. And people like you, and I've seen it before and it's very easy, you need people to kiss your ass. You need people to want to text you and email you and watch your shitty show because you need attention. And no matter how much attention you get, Joe, being around power is the only thing that makes you feel like a real man. It's not. You're just a scared little boy. And you don't even have the balls to stand up to a man who rapes women. You're a disgusting pig. This is the reason that women don't come forward, Joe, is because of insecure little boys like you who don't care. And you were never going to vote for the black woman because you're a fucking racist, Joe. You overlooked everything that man did. She was the most qualified presidential candidate in the history of this country, but because she wouldn't kiss the ass of you, the plantation owner, you're like, you know what? I'm going for the white man. I'm going to maintain the white male patriarchy. You are, Joe. You're a piece of shit. You're a disgusting human being. And you had a platform and you could have done the right thing, but you didn't because you wanted to vote for the plantation owner. That's why we're here, Joe. Maybe one day you'll change, but you won't. Because you're still that scared little boy that your dad stopped breastfeeding you, or your mom abandoned you, or the girl smelt the loser in you, or you didn't make the kickball team or baseball kicked you off. Something in your life where you're insecure, and this is how you do it. It's a shame. The man talks about windmills causing cancer, concepts of a plan, and fucking Hannibal Lecter, and you're like, oh my God, praise Jesus. And you're normalizing this behavior, and it's disgusting, and you're a pig. And I hope one day that you and Jeffrey Epstein and Stephen Miller and Trump and Dahmer and Hitler and all of you guys that supported this man who abuses women and little children, there's a special place in hell for you, Joe. I don't care if you like it or not. It's disgusting what people like you on the right, and I'm not even a Democrat, they suck too, but it's disgusting that people like you will kiss the ass of this man, and no matter what he does, none of you have the fucking balls to say anything. Fuck off, Joe Rogan.